Hey everybody, welcome back. Kennesaw State Dynasty. It's bowl time. We're going to the Bahamas Bowl against the Old Dominion Monarchs, and this one should be a tight one. Playing against a team that is a very spread out offense. They like to stretch the field and use every inch of it, so it's going to be tough for our defense to be able to stay disciplined and have a good game against them. I hope it's not going to be insanely high scoring, but we're going to be in for a probable shootout in this one, as it is the last time for some of these seniors to get a chance to be on the field. Our first ever bowl game in history. We're 13-0, the perfect season. Can we finish it off? Can we get to a 14-0 season here in year 2 of Kennesaw State? We've got the players to do it. Tavares Jones is a player to look at. He is an insane athlete at the running back spot. He's going to be our workhorse tonight. And also Ethan Jones finishing Ethan Jones. Did I say Ethan Jones? Ethan Vasco. I don't know what I'm talking about, but he is going to be another player to really look forward to. We're going to show you the depth chart here just to see those players that are seniors. This will be the last time they will be suiting up in a Kennesaw Owls jersey. First big one that comes to mind over here is Gabriel Benyard. Fantastic player for us for really the whole duration of this dynasty. Christian Moss is another player we're going to be losing. Blake Bohannon, Tykeem Wallace. Really most of the receiving core we will be losing. We're going to lose Connor Finer. Only offensive lineman we'll be losing JT Pennington. We'll be losing both of our D tackles, Tamarius Walker and Tylon Dunlap. We'll be losing Baron Hobson at outside linebacker. And we'll also be losing Garland Benyard. Then also Jordan Young and Tyler Hollum will both be two defensive backs we're going to be losing, as well as Sidney Porter and Jam Warren. Then we'll also be losing both of our kicker and our punter, so we're losing quite a bit of seniors that are starters at the end of this game. So it'll be interesting to see how our team lines up next year. We have a lot of younger players who are going to be taking on bigger roles on the offense and the defense, so it'll be interesting to see how they do. But as of right now, it's bowl time. We got one game left. One game left to really play our hardest and show out for these seniors who did so much for us over the last couple years. And that is just a good throw underneath to the open man. Grant Wilson is the starting quarterback that we're going to be going up against here. He only threw for 155 yards in their last game, so maybe he's not the greatest quarterback for them, which could help us out quite a bit, as their running game is going to try to get working here early as we bring up a 3rd and 2. I think we go a little bit aggressive here. They have two running backs in the formation. I guess one of them must be out wide. So they're going to hand the ball off. The cutback is lethal. Insane cutback from the running back, Bryce Duke. Fantastic plays. That's going to bring up a 1st down for them. And they are one of these teams that goes non-stop, no huddle. Because look at this. Now we have Westmoreland over there in a blitz formation, and that is a quick throw, and they're going to lose yards. Great job from Jordan Young to diagnose that play early. And look at that. We have some of these new plays. I know they had an update just recently, so we'll try this edge blitz 0 play. Looks intriguing. They'll throw it quick to the outside, and Jericho Washington messed up his pursuit, and it's going to be a huge pickup, 31 yards. Or not even 31 yards, that was a quarterback, but either way, a huge pickup right away, and they are moving onto our side of the field. Old Dominion trying real tough to put up some points early in this game. They're going to run the ball off, and good gang tackle right up the middle. They are going to get 4, though. Interested to try some of these new plays. We have this Mabel play that also looks interesting. We'll see how this one works. They're going to end up running the ball up the middle, and that one might be a touchdown. He's fighting for yards, and he's down to the 3. Just another big pickup. They are just having their way running the ball right now. What can we do to stop them? It's an RPO, and he's in for the touchdown. Nobody was able to shoot through that gap, and it is 7-0 Old Dominion early. Duke just finding the wide open lanes to be able to run that one right through. So Ethan Vasco and Tavares Jones are about to come out here on the offense. Even Nathan Leacock has been really becoming a threat recently also. at the wide receiver spot. So glad to be able to have him again as still a young player with a lot of future ahead of him. Tavares Jones gets a cut to the outside. He gets a juke move, and he's up for a nice 13-yard gain right out the gate. Absolutely love that. We got to get this guy going. Officially broke Barry Sanders' record for the most rushing yards in a season. He has had a dominant year so far. Tavares Jones is a legend in Kennesaw State history and one to be remembered forever as he just gets another first down run. We're going to be trying to use a decent amount of Gabriel Benyard. This is his last game as a Kennesaw State Owl, so we will be trying to honor him with giving him some more touches in this game. Try to use some of the jet touch motion to get our receivers some space, and Christian Moss has a nice run to the outside. He's got some space, and he's knocked out at the 2. A huge pickup for Christian Moss. As a senior for him, he really didn't turn out to be the player we wanted him to be long term, but he has been fantastic since. Why is Ethan Vasco's name on the screen? I get that name off the screen. Ethan Vasco, that was a jet touch. That was not any sort of skill from Ethan Vasco there. That was all Christian Moss on it. This one could be great. Runs to the outside, power his way through. Oh, he gets to the 1. Gets to the 1. Can we just go somewhat up the middle? I'm gonna motion Moss over. See if it changes the formation. It does not. Great job for their guy to just get right in our face. Alright, so 3rd and goal. Throw it quick to an open man, and Benyard's gonna get the touchdown. We like that little scat combo on the sideline, putting that corner in some conflict, and we are gonna tie this game. Good choice to throw that one out wide, and we are going right back at it. All right, so 1st and 10. Offense back out there for Old Dominion. Running to the side, and they're going to get stuffed for no gain. Danellis Johnson getting in there. They're really liking to go pretty heavy sets in this game. So we're going to try to bring everybody down in the box just a bit here in case it is a run. It is a run. They're going to break a tackle and get basically 4 defense. Run defense has to show up in this one. We know that they're going to run the ball a lot, so we don't want to be fooled by it. We'll try to go with an over-the-top look just in case here. Going to end up throwing it right at Sidney Porter, and he drops it. Oh, Sidney. He was right there to get the pick. I mean, we're going to end up causing a punt anyway, but that could have been a massive, massive shift for us defensively. So 1st and 10. We'll look out here and see what we can get. It's a good open throw to Christian Moss. He gets a nice pickup, and it's a 1st down situation for our boys already. Christian Moss up to 62 yards on just 2 catches so far in this one. Going to have an open man. You just underthrew it a bit, but it's a good play for Nathan Leacock, who's going to get a huge pickup on the slant. It was almost a bad throw from Ethan Vasco. He threw that a little bit behind him. Oh, wow, and Ethan's already banged up a little bit from the hit on that play. We don't like that very much at all. We're going to try to see if we can just run the ball, get it out of our hands. Huge speed boost for Tavares Jones, and he's in for the touchdown. I don't know how he got through that line. I really don't know how he got through that at all. I would love to see a replay on this because Tavares Jones, that should have been a loss or no gain on the play. But instead, it's a touchdown. Tavares Jones' acceleration is otherworldly. Look at this play. Gets the handoff and boom, straight through the gap. He's so much quicker than all those linebackers. That was insane. I don't know how you can do that easily, but man. So here we are back on defense. Gonna throw, that's a great RPO. The tight end is so open, that is a huge gain. Just nobody in the spot where they needed to be, and that is a frustrating lapse of defense. It was probably the zone Wandarius Silas was in. Just who is expecting that to not be a run? Good hit from Wandarius Silas afterward. They go right back to it. We're going to continue to go heavy sets. We're just expecting they're going to be running the ball off a ton, and that's a great TFL from one Darius Silas. Gets in there again. Just got to expect that there's so many runs on this team, because that is all they're really doing at this point. It's a screen play, and we make him have to make some sort of a juke, but he kind of just ends up air trucking and doesn't get the first. So it's going to be a decently long punt. It is a missable punt, a field goal. It's a decently missable field goal, but he just drills it. Never mind, straight through the middle. So 14-10 now after the field goal made from Old Dominion. We're going to come back out on offense, and Tykeem Wallace is going to get a little seam, and he gets to the 25. A little bit faster. That one might have been a big play. We'll try to do a little bit of an RPO, see what we can get out of it. It is not to you. Tavares Jones, a little too much of a back cut, or else that could have been a massive gain for him. Either way, though, we'll take what we can get. See if we can motion Moss over, make it seem like it's a pretend jet touch. And instead, we'll get the ball off to Tavares Jones, who makes a good move. He's going to get some space to the sideline. He's fast, but he broke a tackle. Stiff arms a man out of the way, and it's a touchdown. Beautiful run from Tavares Jones. He waves at the fans as this man is impossible to bring down in the open field. He literally made that himself. A massive, massive run from Tavares Jones. This guy is impossible to stop. Unbelievable. Hands down, best running back I've probably ever used in my life in this game. Look at the cuts. And he wasn't fast enough to outrun everybody, but it didn't matter because Tavares Jones wants it more. He breaks the tackle and then stiff arms the living daylights out of this safety 80 yards further downfield. Huge play from Tavares Jones. Unbelievable. I don't know how he gets so many yards on so little carries, but he's up over 100 yards in just 7 carries. I mean, you literally can't run the ball out, run the clock out when you have a player like Tavares Jones. He's a liability to take it to the house at any given play, and so it makes it very tough to know what to do offensively, because you have a hard time running the clock out when he's a home run threat every time he touches the ball. Good hit on the running back, and it's going to be 3rd down and 3. Yarbrough could not get much of anything on that one. And try to pinch the line down a little bit. It's a direct snap, and great job from Denellis Johnson to know he was going to cut back through that hole. The awareness, he saw the play before it even happened. Just knew exactly what the offense was trying to do there and put a stop to it. Great defensive play. And I don't like how Tavares is back there to return. I kind of want to change that, but either way, don't get much of a return on it. And we're back on offense. Ethan Vasco getting a little bit more of his wear and tear health there, which is nice. We don't want him to take any shots for a little bit, ideally. All right, 2nd down and 8. Throws it. Oh, that could be bad. Good job coming back to the ball. It was a bad thrown pass. It was not anywhere remotely where we wanted that to go. So good job for Christian Moss to come back to it and not allow a turnover on it. Good job for him. Throws it. Good back shoulder pass to Nathan Leacock. He gets the 1st down pickup, as that's going to take us to the end of the 1st quarter. 21-10. Your Kennesaw State Owls are looking real good so far to take home their 1st bowl game. Up over 100 passing yards and 100 rushing yards to the 1st quarter, averaging 15 yards a play. I think this is where we go into a little option play, and we pitch it off. Tavares Jones has a lot of space again. It's a good block downfield from the wide receiver, and Tavares Jones is going to walk it in for a touchdown. The taunting afterward is even more lethal. Another huge touchdown play for Tavares Jones. The option is so good on this Kennesaw State Owls team. Our blocking to the left side of the line is fantastic. Look at the muggings going on down there, and the huge open field block down there. I'm glad that was not called a block in the back, because it was a little bit sketchy there, Mr. Leacock. All right, it's 1st and 10. Old Dominion back with it again. Good hit. Denellis Johnson really showing not to mess with this defense. And he runs up the middle, are getting hammered. Very, very quick, too. Good defensive presence from our linebackers. Another run, another big hit on the running back. He is taking some punishment out there in this one. A lot of big hits from our interior defenders. We got to keep that up. We got to send a message that they're not running the ball up the middle on this team. And that would be great if we could send that message. Gonna throw it deep. This one should be intercepted. Don't tell me it's not. Good job, Jericho Washington. A good pick from him. He's going to cut back field, and he's not quite fast enough to get a huge return, but an interception from our Kennesaw State leader in interceptions in just his sophomore season. He is going to be a handful. I told you guys from episode 1, watch the name Jericho Washington because he's going to be the #1 cornerback in Kennesaw history, and he already has cemented himself in that spot. That's his 12th pick of the season. Just really an ill-advised throw from Wilson. It was not at all going to be a great option for them to actually try to throw that. He was way past the arm strength he had. Ended up borderline just shucking it the entire distance that he could throw it. And wide receiver had to come back for it. So not a great option there. Good throw to Connor Finer, the senior. He gets in on the action, gets a little complete pass. We had a feeling the blitz was coming. We did not want to keep that run play. Now I like the odds of this run play. And we'll hold it back with our quarterback. He's not quite fast enough. He was a little faster. That's a touchdown. That would have been a solid play from Ethan Vasco. But instead, what we're going to do is we've been running it a lot. We're going to go with our good old PA fake here. Going to get out of it. Throws it quick. It's wide open for Juan Kindred, and he's going to waltz into the end zone for a touchdown. Kennesaw State is just piling it on. That is such a deadly play, especially when you're running the ball as well as we've been running the ball. They have to full commit to the run, because if they don't, we're going to get a touchdown from the run. And then it ends up leaving a guy wide open in the flat. And if you have a speedy guy out there, he is going to take that for a touchdown. Juan Kindred getting in on the action. The extra point will go up, and it is good at 35-10. I think it's going to be a matter of starting to chew some clock maybe super early in this game. Oh, oh my lord, he breaks the tackle. Dobson, get there. He can't get there. It's going to be a kick return. Oh my goodness. They just broke through the entire line and got a kick return. I can't even believe what I just saw. The first kick return we have ever allowed in school history. And he ran in a straight line through everybody on that entire team. I feel like every person on our special teams unit had a hand on that guy on that play. And he would not be denied. He just said, no, I'm breaking 12 tackles on this play, and I'm scoring a touchdown, and he did. And, all right. Well, hey, maybe we can do the same thing on our side. Let's try it, Tykeem. Can we get an answer for a kick return? We'll try to cut it out to the side. Nope, not a kick return. We start at the 13. That is rough. So, 1st and 10 for the Kennesaw State Owls. Going to get a cutback. Gets to the open field. He's going to fumble? There's no way that's a fumble. I mean, if it stands, so be it. But there's no way that that should be a fumble. I for sure think he got down on that. But we get it back either way, so it's fine. I'm not going to worry about trying to change the outcome of a play that we end up getting the ball anyway. But Tavares Jones in space gets a good spin move again. We got to get it back in his hands. Don't want him to get cold from that fumble. Oh, now the offensive coordinator wants us going with this little play, but we're going to have Benyard out there instead. We'll break out of it. Oh, it was there. It was 100% there. We just didn't get it out in time. And it ends up being an incomplete pass, bringing up a 2nd down situation. At least we got Ethan Vasco back to almost full health from not having to use him as much so far. That's got to be PI or something. He couldn't even get open. It's going to end up being a 3rd down and long situation. Can Ethan Vasco make a play? That's the question. Can we find an open man to hit? He gets a great throw. Did he drop it? He dropped it. Christian Moss. Oh, he threw a dime. Christian Moss just couldn't hold on to it. And that's one of the things that just makes it tough. He has all the ability to be a superstar player, but just has a bad habit of dropping the passes that he should not be dropping. And they're gonna end up catching that. We were really hoping that they were going to not catch that and let it bounce, and it would have been a great bounce for us. But instead, we will be having them start at the 19. Gonna try to run with it and gonna lose yards. Bryce Duke not finding a lot open for him. We're just going super heavy with our sets and just sending a lot of people in his direction, flooding the box. And it's been working pretty well for us so far. And that's a good catch. Holds on to it after the jam-worn collision. And it's 3rd down and 6. Trying to force another 3 and out on this Old Dominion team. They have a guy over the middle, and he holds on in triple coverage. They just thread the needle. We're going to try to be a little bit more aggressive. We're going to try to send some people on this one. Running the ball, and good cutback. Ends up tripping over his own center. I think he jumped into the center, but the cutback would have been nice had they have actually succeeded in it. All right, so we're back at it again. Sorry, the game kind of must have froze or something for a second. But either way, you didn't miss a play. They end up just getting really nothing, lose a yard, if anything, on that one. It's going to bring up a 3rd down situation. Is it going to be a run? We are expecting it to be a run. Great team defense. We send the blitz. It works to perfection, and another punt is coming up for Old Dominion. Just can't get much going offensively in this game for them, as they are forced to punt it again. DeVorce Jones getting a chance to return it, and he is going to get a few yards out to the 22-yard line. We come back out on offense. Borderline trying to run a little clock here. We don't want to drain it too much, but if we could end up being the last possession of this quarter, it would not be a bad thing. So we're going to only get about 2 yards. He has 199 yards on barely any rushes. It's actually crazy. He is such a weapon, and I'm so glad we have him for another season. As it's 2nd down and 8 now. The throw over the head of the corner, and Nathan Leacock's got a touchdown. They pressed him again. You have to stop pressing Nathan Leacock. He is a automatic touchdown in that situation. Kind of hate to score that quickly on him, but I mean, if it's an open touchdown to that man, you gotta take it. It's wide open, and it's 42 to 17 rather. So now it's time of some reflection. You know, we talked about some of the guys that are seniors leaving in the offseason. Which of these guys do you really feel has made the biggest impact as a senior? You know, who's going to be missed the most on both positions? We want one on offense, we want one on defense. I'd love to hear in the comments what you guys think. I'll try to think about it and tell you who I feel like has been the biggest contributor on both sides. Offense, I really want to give it immediately to Gabriel Benyard. He was our workhorse for the first game or so, or the first season of this team until we got Tavares Jones. So it's really, you know, tough that we are going to miss him as a player. He just has a lot of history here on this squad, turned into more of a complete player. We used him as a receiver, as a running back, as a pass-catching 3rd down running back. He really did it all for us, and he definitely should get the recognition he deserves as being a fantastic player. Christian Moss, like I said a little earlier, you know, we will miss him, but he didn't really turn out to be the superstar that we wanted him to be. Nathan Leacock has kind of more turned into that role lately, and that's a crazy play from their wide receiver to end up getting the first. Crazy, actually, from him. But Connor Feiner is another guy that I'd like to add to that list. He didn't do a lot first year for us, but changing him to tight end has been insane. Huge interception from Jordan Young. That was a bad throw. Threw it at a double coverage, and that one's coming back to the Owls. Wow, just really letting him hear. Tylen Dunlap just right in the QB's ear there. He was telling that bum to get off the field, apparently. Oh, wow. All right. Jordan Young getting a pick on senior day, basically, as this is the last time he'll be on the field for us. getting just a little pickup over the middle. Thinking about some of the defensive players that we just saw. I mean, Jordan Young was on there. He wasn't really a huge contributor, though. Oh, that's going to be a pick. That's a terrible play. I should not have thrown that. I knew that the second I threw that. That's a terrible throw. Sorry. Ethan Vasco. That's a bad read there, buddy. That's not it right there. That was terrible. I'm always good for one of those at some point. It's been a while since I threw one that bad. Yeah. Yep, that's... Alright, let's just go back to running the ball. Let's not allow a ton of points here early on in this. Gets a good burst of speed. Wow, Tavares is just so fast at this play. Breaks a tackle, gets shoved out of bounds. Huge gain just immediately there for him. So we're going to start putting a backup running back in here now. But all of our defensive backs also. Huge breakaway speed for Juan Kindred. He's not going to be stopped either, and it's a touchdown for Juan Kindred. We can't run out the quarter because all we do is rush for touchdowns. Telling him to go to sleep as this game is unbelievable. Our rushing attack is lethal with this three-headed monster we have in the backfield. All right, but anywho, back to defense. So, defenders that have been really big for us, Sidney Porter, Jam Warren, both those guys are pretty solid. They did pretty solid for us. I wouldn't say all-time greats in Kennesaw history, but nonetheless, really solid contributors in general. Both of them, I think, have improved over the course of the season, and we've enjoyed having both of them. They will be missed. Another one, I mean, Jordan Young, he was kind of early on brought to the team. Tyler Holland led the team in interceptions first year. He was also huge for us. Took a little bit of a step back because he just did not progress that much over the course of the offseason. We are at 280 rushing yards at halftime as a team. Can you name a better rushing offense? I couldn't. In the open field, these guys are lethal. But we'll start with the ball at the half with a chance to put up even more points and yards in this game. Another players are our D tackles were okay. Our outside linebacker, Baron Hobson, he was fantastic. In the last season, like this past season, he was really, really good. So I really enjoyed having him on the roster. He didn't do as much the first year, but overall last year I really think this current year he really did a great job. That's going to be an open man to Juan Kindred again. He's going to end up getting hit at about midfield, but a huge pickup as Juan Kindred. He's even getting in the face afterward as there's a little bit of spicy action going on down there. Tempers are starting to flare here in this bowl game as Old Dominion's emotions are starting to get to them with how much they've been being outplayed. As Tavares Jones is going to get another run to the outside, and he's going to get all the way down to the 10-yard line. Tavares Jones is going to have 300 yards in this game. Another big run for us, and we are all the way back into the red zone in just a few plays. Going to end up running the ball up the middle. Touchdown, Juan Kindred. He is the one to score that one. The Bahamas Bowl is getting out of hand, boys. The Owls are taking flight. So back on defense. We'll see what we can do. But another player I thought about, Blake Bohannon, was such a great contributor for us at the offensive wide receiver spot last year. It's tough not to give him also the knock there at best offensive player. But I think my final choice, I got to say Jam Warren defense, and I got to go with Gabriel Benyard for offensive. I think those guys, I feel like I could have given it to a lot of guys, but I feel like those are the two standouts for me. I might be forgetting something. You know, if I am, definitely let me know about it. I'd love to hear your comments on who you think are the two that we're going to be missing the most. But there's going to be a lot of guys that we will be missing that are going to be leaving us. That's a great TFL from none other than Jam Warren that we were just talking about there. It's going to bring up a second and long situation. We can go with a little pass commit here. I don't think the odds are that great, but it is going to be a run. Of course it's a run after I do the commit. And they're going to get that first down. Just hate that so much. They go right back into running a draw play. Who would have thought? Apparently I wouldn't have, as that is going to be a good choice. Good offensive coordinator decision. Another run for their running back, and it is a good tackle. Good gang tackle from our guys. Our run defense has really improved. I mean, I don't think that we're that insane, but it's definitely improved over the course of the season. Huge hit on the running back, Baron Hobson. Jeez. Wow. That was a shot that the running back just took. I mean, I feel like I've seen 3 or 4 running backs so far from this Old Dominion squad. I think they're having to shuffle through quite a bit of them right now. We saw the play, but it wasn't enough to do anything as he ends up getting leveled in the open field from Jam Warren. I think we're really trying to just throw on some big hits here. And try to bring our guys up a little bit into the box. Good hit, and it's a nice 7-yard gain. They really do have a pretty solid run team. I mean, they're not averaging a lot just because they're doing so many runs, and we have quite a bit of TFLs in this one. Our guys are just good at snuffing out those runs and knowing which gap to go into. That is a good open field tackle from Sidney Porter, bringing up a 3rd and 2. I feel like we go somewhat aggressive here. I'm just going to go straight cover 2. I don't want to blitz in case it's a pass, but this should be a good short run defense. And it's so good in the open field. What a play from Bryce Duke. We really had him there too, I think. But a great job from them to just put their foot in the dirt and get upfield and get that first. He really, really did great. That's going to be a good pass play. We kind of figured they were going to do something along those lines. We tried to have some hard flats out there, but zone coverage was not the best decision in that situation, and it leads to a 7-yard gain. Going to end up getting sacked. It's a nice play as he's going to get drugged down. Danellis Johnson. Wow, what is the quarterback doing? Is he just tapping him in the helmet? That's not a penalty? Can we see that again after the play? I don't think it's going to show us. But their quarterback just started tapping the helmet of our guy after the play. So here we go, look. Tempers flare. Look, he's just literally tapping him in the head. He is just repeatedly tapping him right in the face while Danellis Johnson is just staring him right down while he's doing it. Mylau Fox sees it. You know what I mean? Mylau Fox is out here like, look at Wilson. What is he doing? He's pointing at him. There is going to be some sort of fight going down here. I'll tell you that much right now. Man, somebody better get them off the field because this could get heated quick as they're going to take the quarterback down for a sack. Gets right back in there. Baron Hobson getting right in the QB's face and brings them down for another sack. As we are going to be coming after this guy now. Baron Hobson gets free. Mylau Fox was in there also. But Baron Hobson getting in there quick to bring down the QB after he's basically taunting our guy after being sacked. I don't know how you even do that. You're down by like 40 points and you get sacked but still try to taunt the defense? That's crazy. They're going to nail that field goal though. Our benches are almost clearing from that one, as we are going to have to just hurt them where it hurts on the scoreboard. And I don't think we can run the clock out at this point. I think we got to take it to them. We got to show some pride for our boys there. We can't just allow that to happen just as easily as that. As Tavares Jones gets free again on the option. They cannot stop this. The rushing attack is so great, as it's 300 yards for Tavares Jones and like 400 for the squad, as we are taking it to the Old Dominion Monarchs. 63-27. He's got 360 rushing yards in this game. Does he have a chance to break the most rushing yards in history again? We already know we're going back to aggressive tackle and aggressive strip ball. We want to really take it to this team. We can't allow them to be taunting our guys like that. We are going to stand up for our own, and we're coming after this quarterback. Wilson is going out of the game one way or another, and maybe the running backs as well with it, as they're going to lose yards. Nothing doing there for that squad. It's Rez Hamilton trying to come in here on a blitz. They're going to just throw it quick off to the tight end, and he gets a nice first down pickup, about close to 15 yards or so on the game. We don't want to do too many blitzes because they'll know when it's coming and they will stop it. So we need to be a little bit more conservative, as that's a... Don't tell me. Okay, I was going to say, I'm like, that could have been a massive loss, and then they were really starting to try to gain some yards there. Good thing Sidney Porter there is fast enough to get in the backfield and make that loss. It's at 2nd and 11 now. Are they going to run it again? They will run it again. Another run for their running back. It's 3rd and 2. I feel like they've run the ball like 40 times in this game. They literally aren't doing anything except running the ball. Bring them all down again. Let's go right back to it. It's probably another run. It is going to be a throw, and it's... Oh, wow. He underthrew that by a mile, and it's deflected by Jericho Washington, and it's a punt situation. Old Dominion, they get close. They get to about midfield, and then they just start losing their will to score right about midfield and end up having to punt the ball away on so many possessions. I think what we do on this one is we try to fool them here. We go what we would be doing a run, but instead we're just going to hit this one off with a pass and see if we can maybe get somebody open on it. Gets a guy. Oh, deflection. He underthrew it again. That play looks so good. And then the problem is we just don't always have the accurate pass to nail that. Maybe when Nick Johns comes out here later on, he would be even better for us. That's a perfect dot to Connor Finer, and he's going to get knocked down out of bounds around midfield. It's a big pickup for Connor Finer, and apparently the offensive coordinator just loves this little PA play out of the train formation. We just got to break the huddle quick enough to be able to dump it off, as it is a good find. There is a flag, though. It's probably a legal man downfield or some sort of hold. It's always Davian Witherspoon. It is a hold. Davian Witherspoon just always is the guy who's ended up doing that for us. So we'll see what we get on maybe the screen play. Last time it got kind of defended. This time we'll get a good pickup. And it's going to be back to 2nd down and 7. We love that. Got a huge pickup on 1st and 20 to make this a manageable 2nd down. We'll hit him with a little RPO. And Christian Moss is loose to the outside. It's going to be close if he's fast enough. He gets the dive to the end zone, and it's a touchdown for Christian Moss. That's right. It's time to go to bed, Old Dominion. It's over. 70-27 here. Just under 2 minutes left in this 3rd quarter. We are really taking it to the Monarchs. Is this going to be the birth of a rivalry after this? I don't know. I mean, I feel like it has to be somewhat competitive for it to be a rivalry. I feel like Liberty is probably our biggest rivals at this point, since they're the ones that have been playing us the closest so far in this dynasty. But this Old Dominion game is a little feisty. There's a little bit of sauce coming out here. Back on defense. Going to run the ball. Outside run. Doesn't get much. Sidney Porter lays a big hit into him. 2nd down and 9. I'm assuming this is going to be another run. It is another run. It's always another run. They don't really trust their QB. I mean, I'm just going to say that now. I feel like they don't trust their quarterback. They are not throwing the ball very much at all. I mean, probably for the best. They already have thrown some picks. And he's going to get sacked. Baron Hobson's coming in there and gets a sack. Another one. Wow, just right in his face with the bow and arrow archer animation. Baron Hobson making a name for himself. Maybe he's going to be my defensive vote. He might be my defensive vote over Jam Warren. I mean, Jam's great too, but Baron is really taken off this year. So, 1st and 10. Gonna throw that one. Good pass, and it is dropped. Christian Moss, that's one of the problems there with Christian Moss is a lot of those plays. If he gets even touched, he is going to drop the ball. And it's sad. I mean, yeah, they're college players. They're not going to get it every single time. But it is a pain when we can't get it like that. That's a great pitch and catch. Right over the middle with that post route. Christian Moss is going to end up holding on to that one. And that's huge, actually. Great pickup over the middle. We're going to try a little PA play here. Has an open man. Christian Moss again gets the nice catch. I don't know why he necessarily fell down on that one as much as he did. Wanted it just to be somewhat safe on that play, but he went very safe on that route and ends up, oh, we just couldn't get it off. Ends up getting hit as we throw it. It's going to bring up a second down. I think we got to go with the run situation here. We got to just get a second and manageable. And Tavares Jones gets some speed to the outside. Gonna get knocked down at the 3. It's a first down pickup from Tavares Jones. How do we even get yards on that play? We're going to run this out. We're not going to snap it here. But how do you even get a first on that run? Tavares Jones just doing everything out there. Great play from him. Great burst in speed for him to be able to get to the outside and get that first down. Really should have been a loss of 2 or 3. We have 400 rushing and 400 passing yards. We're almost exactly even in this game. 422 and 425. That is a very, very even team. Because we have 70 points. And boys, it's... Oh my lord, what a truck. He is the Juan Kindred as he just ran over him. Not even close. Jeez, that was insane. That's another one on the board for the Owls. I want to see this again. That poor safety. So, I mean, we have just about the most balanced offense you could possibly have in this situation. It's really fantastic. Oh, wow. That was right at Baron Hobson, too. Ends up laying a big hit on Duke after that catch. But, wow, was that a risky throw? Really trusted his accuracy on that, because if that's a little bit worse, it's going to be it. Oh, he dropped it to Nellis Johnson. Read it. They tried the same thing on the other side, and he was going to get the pick. He ends up dropping it. It's a lot of sadness right there, but hey, can't win them all. Good catch. Going to get that first down. Just that quick little 1-2 step out route is really what they needed there to pick up that first. Just don't have a lot of lateral speed at the corner spot there. Gonna love it a couple years from now when we get a little bit faster out there at the cornerback spot. It's gonna be nice. That's gonna be an interception for Jericho Washington. It's gonna be a pick 6. That was so covered. Jericho Washington gets his 13th interception of this season. That's so many interceptions for one guy. Some teams get 13 interceptions in an entire season. But Jericho Washington has 13 here in 14 games. Unbelievable. Pick 6 as well. I mean, this guy's... I would have to look and see how many touchdowns he has, but if I remember right, it's like 4 or 5. Well, 1st and 10 for Old Dominion again. They throw that one. Oh, my goodness. Therese Hamilton almost got that pick. It was a bad throw. He just threw it barely high enough that it didn't end up getting intercepted. So that would have been another pick 6. Backup QB is now officially in here. Gonna be a flag, though. Don't know what the flag is for. Let's hope it's not... Oh, my goodness. Donovan? He did a roughing the passer on a little dump off to the flat. That's sad. It's gonna make it a first down. And they are gonna get basically a freebie there. I mean, they have the backups in. Should we put the backups in? Probably. Throws it, and it's intercepted to Rez Hamilton. I think that tells us the backups better get in here, because this one's just going to get out of hand. I mean, it's already out of hand by a mile. We're already up over 50 points. But we'll have to do one play before all the backups can come in. That is going to be a good run. And Juan Kindred just getting so many yards there. Gets a huge pickup. And here we are. Trying to just borderline milk some clock here in this one and get us out of this game. Juan Kindred running over 2 guys and gets a 6-yard gain. 2nd down and 4 run. Juan Kindred, jeez, the aggression he plays with pretty much non-stop is amazing to see. I mean, you really can't coach that type of play that he has. Going to end up throwing it. It's a perfect play. Bryce Dobson getting in there for the touchdown. He got a little bit PI'd there over the middle. I'm glad we were able to hold the ball a half second longer before we threw that pass, because that one could have been picked if I would have thrown it when I wanted to throw it. But good job. Good progression there from Braden. As he is going to, Braden. Because he was able to just hold off a little bit longer and not end up throwing that pick. So love to see that. We're up to 90 points in this game. And we are about to kick the extra point. It's 91-27. Let's see how the backups on defense do. Some of these guys are the future for us. I don't know how many of them are the future for us. It's probably more in the defensive back situation. I know Kai Stokes is a somewhat future player for us. Probably next season as a starter. Some of the other guys, maybe some linebackers, will be starters for us also. But we really got a lot of interesting young prospects coming in here as recruits that we got. We have 2 5-stars, a handful of 4-stars. Got a lot of guys that's going to be really nice to see how they progress over the years. That's a huge sack, a 12-yard sack. Garland Benyard getting back in there. I don't know who else was over there, but a huge play. Just really not even sending much of anything, and they're just getting free. Our backups against their starters, or our backups against their backups, are just really making it a problem for us. I mean, we do have a lot of decent players on the defensive line, which would make it tough. That's going to be a safety. No, it's not. To the 1. Danellis Johnson got to the 1. We got a blitz. We got to send it. We got an opportunity to get a safety. We're going for it. Send a little blitz here. See what we can do. It's a huge TFL, and that's a safety. Danellis Johnson gets in there and gets him on the read option play. Nothing doing. That's a punt. A short little pooch punt kickoff to Bryce Dobson. Good cut move from Bryce Dobson. I think we just find a way to quick snap this off to this side. I'd love to run to the other side. Love to just see what Juan can do. Is it an option to cut back to the other side? It was not really. There was really no blocking at all. Gonna end up losing some yards on that one. But basically just borderline trying to run out this one. Get us into the next one. That is going to be a good open field run for Gabe Benyard. Gets him back to a 3rd and 9. It's at least somewhat more manageable here. 3rd and 9. Gotta throw the ball to pick it up. Gonna have to run away with it and just gonna have to take the sack. Needed to find a way to keep the clock moving. Basically is the only option there, was we're gonna basically try to run this thing down to about 2.5 minutes before we punt it off. So after the good punt, it is 1st and 10. I mean, score looks worse than it really was as far as, oh my, that's going to be, oh my, a dot. Seriously, as soon as I talk about our defensive performance, we immediately give up a 70-yard bomb. Hate that, but that's exactly what happens every time I talk about our defense, because I was just about to say our defense has done pretty solid for as far as points allowed, because we had that pick 6 and we had that kick return. So 14 points don't even count on the defense. But that one does. But it's backups, and that was Barron Hobson on a wide receiver. That's not a good combo. That's never been a good combo. And clearly that's why, as you're going to see a massive touchdown. There's 2 minutes left. We'll just have the ball to basically just run it out. So I'm going to go ahead and run this game out. I will see you guys at the end of it. So that'll do it. Bahamas Bulls champs, the Kennesaw State Owls, just showing dominance against a lesser opponent here in Old Dominion, and really rallied around our guys and put up 93 points, 371 rushing yards on 16 attempts for Tavares Jones's lethal running game. Had 450 on both sides for pass and run. Just absolutely dominating the Monarchs defense. They showed no effort and did not come to play today against the Owls, as we put up a slew of points, and we're pretty suffocating on defense, getting quite a bit of takeaways and some defensive touchdowns too. Had 905 yards of total offense to their 353. That's domination. You know, Ethan Vasco having 422, 4 touchdowns and a pick. The pick was one of the worst throws I've thrown in a while. Running wise, we already went over the insane game from Tavares Jones, but Juan Kindred averaging 8.5 per carry, getting 85 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns. Really, really solid game for him overall as a true freshman. He had a really good season. Receiving-wise, Christian Moss having 150 yards, Nathan Leacock 115. Defensively, 4 guys up there with double-digit tackles, 6 TFLs for Baron Hobson. He came to play today. Handful of half sacks. We all were working together as a team. 2 interceptions for Jericho, 1 for Terez, and 1 for Jordan. Ended up getting a handful of pass deflections also. And boys, we just won our first bowl game in our franchise history. The Bahamas Bulls, and Baron Hobson is the CUSA Defensive Player of the Week. He had a standout game. I'd love to see probably Tavares in here too. Baron's going to get the National Defensive Player of the Week. And Tavares Jones, that's right, gets our CUSA Offensive. And let's see him get that overall. He did. Well, boys, we lost our defensive coordinator, so that's tough. I'm going to have to see if we can hire a decent one here. So I'll go ahead and look and see what our options are. I think the one who fits our goals the best here is probably this Alex Feliz. He's a motivator and a tactician. So we're going to go ahead and offer him. He's got the Metro Atlanta pipeline too, so that would be pretty nice to see. Well, let's go. We got him. Alex Feliz officially signed. He is the defensive coordinator for Kennesaw now. Looking at some of the scores of the other bowl games in our conference, Liberty defeats number 24 Nevada 24-10. And then Mid-Tennessee State beats New Mexico State 38-30 in the New Orleans Bowl. So we got an interesting one for the national championship. We got Ohio State and Arizona. So we jumped up to the 13th ranked team in the country so far after that win. And we were a 2-star prestige school. Still kind of a letdown that we're only a 2-star prestige school. Would have loved to have been like 2.5 or 3 at this point. But we really haven't made a huge bowl game yet. So I can see why we're still at the 2-star spot. But our C- pro potential is going up. Coach stability dropped since we lost the defensive coordinator. But our coach prestige going up. And Arizona knocking off Ohio State 38-24. Wow, that's shocking. I wasn't expecting Arizona to pull that one off. But guys, that's going to end it for this video. Huge win for us. Getting our bowl game, finishing our undefeated season. 14-0 is an insane season for year 2. So we'll see what season 3 brings along. But that's going to be in the next video when we go over the off season. So until then, I'll see you guys later. But why don't you check out one of these videos?